Yeah, I got COVID here twice, so I gotta make sure I don't get COVID going into U.S. champs. But yeah, the wind wasn't there, but 977. I'm like, shoot, if the wind was dead even, that would have easily been a 19.6, 19.5 race. And if the wind was with me, shoot, that for all we know, that could have been a 19.4 race.
What was kind of happening at the start?
The blocks were moving too much. You know, we were interchanging them multiple times. It's the same thing that was going on in the 100. We just tried to use so many different blocks, and they just weren't sticking. I think the actual track was, it's just a little old. You know, it's been used a lot. You know, this is a fast track. So a lot of people have been on it, got it fast times. So that's, I really think, what was it. The blocks just weren't sticking because the track was soft.
And technique-wise, how you just felt it went out there since you were so happy with the technique, it sounds like? How did you felt the technique was?
I feel like I got the power for sure. I feel like I'm trying to find the rhythm again. This is my first 200, but I expected something still fast. You know, I think this is my second or third fastest time season opener. And I think I think I ran a time before I got to Jamaica. So it might be my second, but it was good regardless, especially into the negative head. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're going into USA's, and we got a strong hold on all the events.
It seemed like you got out pretty good.
Is that what?
It seemed like you got out pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like I did. I think even somewhere in there, somewhere about 60 to 70 meters into the turn, I kind of slowed down a tad to make sure that my positions were correct, because I didn't want to come out of the turn with bad positions. But I lost a little bit of speed doing that. But I was okay with that because I'd rather feel what it has to do good positions going out of the turn than bad positions coming out of the turn. I really want to find that rhythm going into all the next few races. To be honest, I'm just trying to get my rhythm in the 100. That's really what it's been all about. Now I'm the 100-meter world champion 2023, so I'm not planning on getting that title. No, I'm planning on being the Olympic champion. I know I have the 200 on lock. All I need is 2 or 3 200s before I'm like, okay, I got this. This is in my back pocket. I want to make sure that I really drill in the event that's not as strong. And this year, I feel like we've done it.
Talking about the 100-meter champ, you're the Triple Crown winner at Worlds this past year. We saw McKenzie Long get the Triple Crown in the NCAA championship. Any thoughts on that, or just her performance? You also being a Triple Crown winner yourself.
Yeah, it was very impressive. We were watching it last night, and I was like, I had her winning the double. And then after the first day of the 4x1s, I'm like, oh yeah, Ole Miss is gonna win the 4x1. So I didn't get to stick around. So it wasn't a shock, but it was very nice to see. But she definitely had to work on that 100. But I was like, yeah, I know that in the hole feeling, and you got to get out of the hole. But she did it.
Talk about the hairstyle game, man. Talk about the style game with it.
Yeah, I'm getting my vibe and trying to figure out what's the style for the Olympics. And this year, I think it's been screaming pearls. Pearls has been the vibe all this whole time. So I had to make sure that my nails were pearly vibe. I had to make sure the hair, the outfits. That's just what I think I'm going to go in the Olympics with.
This New York energy, man, you know it all the
yes,
way.
Sir.
How the crowd was, giving you the love there, man. They represent the Noah vibe.
It does. It does. We did a lot of work going into this meet, all the way from the announcer. I think we got a hockey introduction. The announcer who was doing the first few vibes, he works for some hockey team, and I was like, yeah, that's the intro we need every time we step out onto the track, right there.
What about the video you got from the kids walking in?
I love it, man. I think it shows the vibe of how close you can be with the athletes. A lot of sports, you're kind of distant, You're playing football, there's a huge stadium in the middle. I've gone to some track meets where they have huge gates for separating the athletes from the crowd. I'm like, nah, we one of the only few sports where we are very close to the audience, and we need to take advantage of that.
You feel now more commercials for the trials in the next 2 weeks. Market the trials need to go down.
Hey, bro, I got 7, 8 commercials that are about to drop, from trials all the way to the Olympics, all the way to December. Everybody's saying, where's Noah's stuff at? Don't worry, it's coming. It's going to be great. I've seen them all. They're really good.
And that Netflix hype, man, for the Netflix doc, just your whole thoughts on this, how it's been received so far, and just how it's being marketed with the Netflix show coming out.
I'm very excited about Netflix. I saw the series. It's great. There is no worries on if that Netflix show is going to be good. It's going to be amazing. It's definitely going to bring a lot of fans. And to be honest, I think you're going to see a lot of people in new light, truly.
No, you haven't lost the 200 since Tokyo. In a recent interview, you said looking back at races from that year, you don't even recognize that person. How is this version of you different and more prepared for Paris?
I'm more energetic for sure. I'm not depressed. I definitely say, and that makes me be able to enjoy and have fun with what I do. And just having that energy, anytime I step on the line, no matter if I've had a bad block day or had a bad warm-up, it's like, all right, at least I'm here and I'm not depressed. And always having that mentality, it makes me say, okay, I know I'm going to run faster than such and such. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they brought us out early and they had us just standing there. And first I was like, we can't do this. It can't be a standing still thing. This is not how this works. Now this needs to be a running from the back. The kids, see you zooming past, they get in a quick glance. And then I wanted to make sure there was a video that we had to capture, going from the back to the front and introducing the crowd. And I wanted to make sure that we got that because that's this thing I'm going to see on YouTube and Instagram more than the actual race.
So are you building towards a little peak at USA's and then a big one at Paris, or is it like super important to get a big peak for trials?
To be honest, it's a situation where we're going to peak at the Olympics, but the momentum we've built up going into USA's is going to be so strong that it's going to look like a peak. So we haven't peaked, but I'd say we're about 90% there.
So we should expect something fast?
We should expect something very fast.
Last question?
Yep, let me ask you, man, in terms of another event that's getting a lot of hype, the men's 1500 with Yaka and also with Josh Curry. We saw Grant Holloway try to get the whole hype for it.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to go, and do you love seeing that too, up in the distances?
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. It was the energy, it was a natural, back and forth. And I didn't feel like it needed to be egged on, which is why I was kind of disappointed in how I feel the media kind of dropped the ball on that one. Prefontaine announced that they were going to have the rivalry, but they were kind of just banking on the athletes doing all the work. It's a team effort. They got to go back and forth. You can't sit them in a room and say, okay, fight. No, it doesn't work like that. Build it in. Build them into it. There's a process to this. And but the track meet itself and the race itself did not disappoint.
Thank you, guys.